Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another exciting podcast interview today. Longtime friend and dealer partner, Tara Rego from Spectrum Reach. She is the Director of Strategic Partnerships. Tara, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Brian. I'm happy to be here.
You know, I've followed your career and how Spectrum and their field team has partnered with dealers. This has been a great story because what some people used to think is like, oh, they're the cable company. Really, Spectrum has proven itself now to be a data first company, right? In the way that you deliver, measure, and target. When you talk to dealers today, are they finally understanding that your ability to meet them and their business needs really have expanded over the years?
Yeah. When we are talking to dealers now, it's a little bit different conversation. I think a lot of that has to do with they are understanding that, we are video and video is everywhere, right?
Right.
We look at the multi-screen environment. It's expanding, it's changing. It's a universe. It's not just like a landscape, it's a universe, and it's big. And that has truly altered the television viewership and audience experience. And with that being altered that way, people are watching anytime, anywhere. They're watching traditional, they're watching streaming, they're watching apps, they're on demand, they're live. If they're like me on a Sunday, they're playing golf and they're watching it on their phone, on their golf cart while they're playing golf and watching golf, right? So it's everywhere, but dealers now, yeah, it's everywhere. But dealers now are finding that it's super fragmented because it's everywhere, right?
That's right.
Which this fragmentation is really preventing campaigns from hitting critical mass, right? So because they have to try to be everywhere to get that audience. So reining in the fragmentation, I think, is where dealers right now are starting to understand we have a stronghold in. And they're like, whoa, you're across all these different areas. You can simplify this audience aggregation and help me focus on outcomes.
Yes, because one thing that not all dealers understand is that when they partner with you to get a video message out, it's not just limited to what they used to think of Spectrum Reach desktop boxes, or set-top boxes. This is recently I even saw Amazon inventory added, right? I mean, so if there's a device that has a screen that can display video, you can partner with dealers to make sure the people in their PMA in a privacy compliant way can be targeted with their video message across any platform.
Yeah, that's right. We were the cable company, but I think what people forget, we still are. It's still prevalent. And I've put a few facts together when I came here that I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to read them because I'm not good at memorization. According to Nielsen, audiences in the US can now find content on more than 32,000 traditional TV channels and 89 unique streaming video sources, each of those having hundreds of channels, right? So yes, we are cable, but what cable really was someone who learned how to aggregate a bunch of networks and channels together to make small businesses have the opportunity to advertise and get in front of them across all of those different areas in an aggregated format. And we're still doing that, but we're just doing that with, streaming services now. We're still collecting those. So you brought up Amazon. That's the latest one we've now thrown in our quiver as well.
One of the things I want dealers to understand and make sure that they see the beauty of it, there are specific use cases when dealers need to reach out to their customers
Mhm.
That could be for service campaigns or recall campaigns or trade-in, trade-up campaigns. And now, being a data-first company and privacy compliant, dealers can share their customer data, their data that shows the customers that have done business. You can, using clean room technology, match them up to the households that you serve and actually deliver video messages to their customers. It's not spray and pray, it's not zip code, it's not PMA. So let's talk about that. We've seen, as you and I have been on the road talking with dealers, a tremendous lift that this video messaging to existing customers complements their Google search, complements their Facebook advertising, complements their direct mail campaigns. This is really a breakthrough, right? In that dealers can feel that their video messaging can even be targeted as long as their audience is large enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what an auto advertiser, an auto marketer needs, they need access first to high quality data, right?
Right,
They need to make sure that that data is safe and reliable. They can trust the source of where that data is coming from. And then the ability to measure the results on the back end, right? So they want to
right.
work with providers that have valuable first party data insights that use their data in a privacy focused way, allowing them to addressably target and match those auto shoppers they're looking to reach. And that really is the superpower that we're using to drive a one-to-one deterministic customer data match, right?
Yes,
We're using their data and we're using our privacy focused household viewership data, which, by the way, we're collecting that data, to your point, across set-top boxes, streaming services, over 30 million households, which, Brian, that equates to 92 million potential auto shoppers, right? And these people are watching a ton of content, like almost
that's right.
16 billion hours a year in content they're watching. Because, like I mentioned, they can watch it anywhere, anyhow. They don't
That's
care.
right.
And that's over 500 billion or half billion uh, devices.
Yeah, and I think what's important for dealers to understand as they think of their marketing strategy for 2024 close and 2025 is that with your reach, with your platform, with your experience, you become a trusted partner to make sure that those videos are delivered into the right homes, onto the right devices to get their message across. And dealers today are starting to wake up to the value of their first party data. And so we've been talking about CDPs. And what I'm excited about, Tara, and you and I have talked about this a few years ago. I said, Tara, CDPs are coming. Make sure Spectrum Reach starts to talk to these companies. And you have 3 or 4 different projects going now to help dealers who have a CDP push that data into clean rooms, into a privacy compliant way to activate clean data from the CDP into video platforms. This is really, really smart. How do you see this movement of dealers really taking care of their customer data and the activation through Spectrum?
You know, I think I've heard you mention a few times that everyone sells OTT now, right? You kind of make a joke that someone's at their trunk of their car and like, "Psst, come over here." Um,
Yeah, I got something for you. Come here. Look on
yeah,
the
right.
it's in the trunk.
Everyone wants to be in that space. Well, and I think longtime sales fact: people buy from people they like, right?
Yeah,
They can't like you if they don't know you, and the best way to get people to know you at mass is something that creates sight, sound, emotion, and that's video.
that's
And
right.
with 16 billion hours annually of viewership happening, everyone wants to be in video. It can be overwhelming for an auto marketer to make decisions on how they get in that space because everyone's offering. The newspaper's offering it, the radio's offering it. Don't know what they have to do with video, but they've got it. So I think it's important when we talk about this that, what should they be looking for in an OTT partner? What should they be looking in CTV streaming partner? I think it's also, important to know that it's not all there yet. Uh, Many of us, that's how we watch 100% of the time. But if you listen to the reports and the statistics, Nielsen is saying that 48.7% of viewership is still happening across traditional television.
That's correct.
That's almost half, right? So knowing that that's almost half, it's important to understand how much you should put where and why. And because we are able to be media that moves with the audience, we really like to point that out and make sure people know we're media that moves with the audience. We're going to aggregate across all the different platforms, and we're going to be there in those spaces for them. We took the opportunity to analyze almost 1,500 campaigns, Brian, with one of those campaigns being like, we did two different sections. The first section was if they only were using that traditional video or traditional TV in that respect. We then layered in a streaming campaign to see what happened there. We found that the reach went up 52%, which is pretty significant. I think anybody would say if I could reach 52% more people, I'd be exciting. But even more so, knowing that still almost half of the viewership is happening in that space, when we took people who are only using streaming as their video, and that was it, not using traditional, and we layered in that traditional campaign with it, we saw the reach go up 131%. So when we look at it, we know that they need both. So when we're working with CDPs, we now have the ability that we are able to do that across both. And we know because we are taking first party data and we're matching it in that privacy focused way to our data, we know when and where they're watching and seamlessly. Or I was recently let know of a word, and I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, interoperability.
Yes, you did great.
Thank you. We're seamlessly integrating across all these platforms, which we're bringing all of this into unison, all their campaigns. So they don't have a little money over here on Amazon, a little over here in Premium, a little. No, we are seamlessly putting that all together to make sure all of it is working in unison with their data. We know it's overwhelming. We know that OTT is hard to pick because, like I started this with, so many different places that you can choose from. But you want to pick someone that you know that they've got quality, right? They've got safety, a little bit of fraud. They're like try to stay away from, you have no idea where it actually ran. They're giving you reporting. They're giving you metrics. And then I would also say one of the things that I've run into a lot is a lot of companies that are doing OTT, they don't actually have a lot of access to great inventory. So they sell blended CPMs with a lot of lion's share of the money actually going to lower engagement, lower performing forms of video. So you want to partner with someone who gives you optionality that you can buy programmatic, you can buy managed service, you can do traditional, you can do streaming, you can do hyper local down to like this very targeted thing. Or if you need to do bigger, you can go bigger. You want to have someone who can be flexible like that with you.
And I think that's the message I want to get out to dealers, especially when we have such a need to accelerate sales and inventory. The headwinds for automotive retail still look like they're going to be present in 2025. Obviously, there's some pent-up demand because of the election season we're in. There's some people that think post-election there'll be a little burst of selling, but 2025 dealers are going to need a sane, not crazy, spend, a sane, efficient, safe, and experienced partner to execute on video. And since you're partnering with CDPs, since you have first party data match, since you have the widest reach and network choices, and since you have reporting and measurement, it's really important for dealers to understand that spraying and praying for the cheapest CPM at the end of the day can bite you. And that's why you're going to be doing a workshop, right, at MRC. Can you tell the dealers who are attending or maybe thinking about attending what you're going to be covering at your workshop, because you've assembled an all-star panel of dealers who have found success in partnering with Spectrum for their video messaging.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about how you can harness all this chaos of the fragmentation in the video space and different ways to go about it. So I've got three different, like you said, all-stars who are going to be sitting on my panel, who are in charge of marketing for large dealer groups that are using us in different ways, each one taking a different approach with how to use data and with us to maximize their video campaigns. We like to say that we're built for what's now and what's next, because we continue to follow where everything is going. And we're going to talk about that on this panel, how, I mentioned at the beginning that dealers aren't reaching critical mass on their campaigns because it's so fragmented. And, partnering with companies like Spectrum Reach, we can help them harness that chaos and bring the fragmentation together, embrace the fragmentation, because we're going to take them across all the different platforms, and we're going to use it with the data that they're wanting to use to get the results and the outcomes they're looking for.
Well, Tara, I'm so glad that you're bringing in dealers, because dealers trust other dealers and they can ask questions. And again, I want to emphasize that the marketing directors from these dealer groups, I know them all. I know all three of them. They're very demanding. They're precise. And I think it goes to show that some of the top data-focused companies are turning to Spectrum because they trust that what they're buying is going to get delivered. And I want to encourage all dealers who are listening in, video has to be part of your strategy. And with the multi-screen, multi-network, content fragmentation world, you need to figure out how to solve the problem. So come out to MRC, attend Tara's workshop, just so you can learn how to have a more cost-effective and effective delivery of video message. And if this is the first time you're listening in to one of my podcasts, you should know that I have a whole series of interviews with people who will be speaking on the main stage, participating in panels, or conducting workshops like Tara. So please listen into all of the podcast interviews for the Modern Retailing Conference, which is coming up November 17, 18, 19 at the beautiful O Resort and Spa in Palm Beach. Tara, everyone says it's one of their favorite hotel destinations on the automotive conference circuit. Are you looking forward to a little networking and education at the O?
Yes, I am. And if you haven't met me yet, please walk right up. I love meeting people, getting to know more about you and your business, and helping you connect with others as well.
Great. Well, Tara, thank you so much. I know every time you lean in and do an educational program at our events, people come away saying, wow, I really feel clearer, more confident about spending money with streaming, CTV, and, well, connected video messaging. For all the dealers listening, and I just want to let you know that only dealer and OEM tickets are left. The conference sells out every year, so please take action, get someone to the conference. Why? Because we're going to be talking about CDPs, identity resolution. We're going to be talking about the modern retail experience. Is digital retailing dead, or is there a renaissance coming? We're going to be talking about the different marketing opportunities you have with a data-first strategy, just like Tara has been talking about, plus a number of key topics about what the future looks like. We have Mike Stanton, president of NADA. We're going to have a panel discussion with Tom Moore and Brett Morgan from the Morgan Auto Group in Florida, talking about their data-first strategy and their CDP. Many, many great topics. So go to modernretailingconference.com, get your tickets, and like Tara said, make sure you network, meet the speakers, meet the educators, because this is a really important event to help direct your spending and strategy for the year ahead. Tara, thanks so much for being on the podcast. Every time I'm with you, I feel like, man, she knows the future of video marketing. So thanks for your expertise. And for everyone who's listening in, thanks for your time. And I look forward to spending another session with you on a future podcast interview. Thanks again, Tara.
Thank you, Brian.